This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's repair, hopefully it's a quick one. This is a freebie for me. It was given to me by somebody's parents that I went to high school with. I'm going to get he's got a small YouTube channel. I want to give him a little bit of a shout out as well. Tom2RN. He does car repair videos. He's got a small YouTube channel. Go over there and hit the subscribe button. It helps him out. He is monetized, and so you're doing you're actively putting forth effort if you get a YouTube channel that gains enough traction to become monetized. So good for him, and I really do appreciate him and his wife for reaching out and letting me have this thing, get it fixed, and hopefully have a nice cheap riding mower here. This is an L110 John Deere. You've seen plenty of these. I've had plenty of these before. It's either the L, the LA, or the D variant. I've had a couple of E variants. These are pretty good. They got the 17.5 horsepower Kohler Command engine on them. This is the only series that had a Kohler engine on this style lawn tractor. They went pretty much exclusively to Briggs & Stratton after this generation. What it's doing, I almost drove it on the trailer. If you saw my video for the day in the life where I had that really long day, I picked this up that day. It was it started up for us, but then it flooded itself out before I could get on the trailer. I'll show you what's going on with it, give you a look around. Obviously it is nasty, so as soon as I'm going to slap a carburetor on this, we're going to clean it up, see what else it might need, and like I said, it's going to be a good cheap rider for somebody. Obviously it's got flake and paint and all that stuff, and we've also got some spots on the deck that have been repaired. So it's not the prettiest mower, but it will be a good mower for somebody to get them by at least for a few years until the deck rots out, essentially. So let's look around it, and I'll give you a synopsis of what everything looks like, and then we'll go ahead and get started with the repairs. So I've already started on a little bit. I've taken the air filter off already, but John Deere L110, nothing special about it. It does have a little crack in the hood here where a branch fell on it, but a cracked John Deere hood comes with any John Deere mower that's older than about 10 or 12 years old. So the battery's from 2019. However, it does turn over, and it looks like he'd put a carburetor on it, but y'all know sometimes these carburetors, the aftermarket ones, can be hit and miss. This one seems to have been a miss, unfortunately. I'll look inside it just to make sure that we don't have anything going on with it, but it runs really, really bad. Oil is in decent shape. We'll change it, obviously, but the deck is the main issue here. So the deck, I mean, it's usable. It's got this, got some plates and stuff on it, and we've still got the covers on it, and you can tell it's dirty because they bought, I think it's been sitting about a year to a year and a half outside, but it has been kept up with. We've got tubes in the tires. All the tires are holding air, and everything is freed up. It's got 260 hours on it, so hours aren't outrageous. Like I said, just the mower deck is the main issue on it. We'll lower it, and I'll show it to y'all a little bit here. So yeah, you got a bunch of leaves and stuff caked up in here, but from what I can tell, all the pulleys are turned, so that's good. I don't know how the condition of the drive belt is up here. It is in fairly good shape as well, from what I can tell. So maybe I can just get it to at least start for y'all, just to show y'all how it is. And then I should have a carburetor here. We'll slap a carb in it, and hopefully that'll fix the running issue. Fuel pump looks like it was recently replaced as well, so that's always a good good thing. So let me see if I can get it to at least start for So it gets to running, and then it gets past that needle and seat there, and ends up just smoking everything out here, flooding it all out. So that's what it does. It runs good for a few seconds. I don't think the fuel pump is the issue here. I think it's the carburetor flooding past the needle and the seat. So I'm going to get a carburetor out of the cabinet over there, and what we'll do after that, we'll come on over here. These carbs are very easy to swap out, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that here in just a second. It's not a choke related issue either. The choke is open right now, and I can see a bunch of gas down there in the air intake. So let me grab, it's only a couple of 10 mils to get this off, I believe. Fuel line clamp. We can go ahead and take off the little wire here. I should have a couple of these carburetors sitting around, so let me go get one. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started on this. Got to get some pliers. Pull this fuel line off. It's always good when you get something that everything looks like it's in pretty decent shape. So you can see past the dirt. Now I told him, I said, this is in good condition compared to a lot of freebies that I get, so I will gladly take it. We got to pull this off the breather hose here. Come on now. You can see all the gas that's just dumping out of there just because of it flooding itself out. Guys, this is literally how easy it is. You just take this out, pull the choke out. We're going to pull this. It's always a little bit of a challenge to get it out there, but because the one thing that you want to save is this little piece right here that goes into the carburetor. Man, it's just dumping gas everywhere because it is slam full, but that's all right. So you got to take this piece off. I'm going to put this over here. I think this, like I said, I think it's flooding itself out. We've got a new carb right here. We just throw that piece on there. Let's see. Sometimes you got to get some pliers to do it. There we go. So throw that on there. We'll put this on first. And then, let's see. The only wild card here is that for some reason the fuel pump is overwhelming the carburetor. But I doubt that that's the case. Especially since the fuel pump is new. So, okay, there we go. So we'll plug that in right there. Let's swap it around. Well, hopefully it'll go in there. If not, I can change the pigtail on it. Should go in there. There we go. There we go. Make sure. Okay, that's good. So now we'll put the air filter back on. Excuse me. We might need a gasket. There's a gasket already on this. It looks like it's in good shape. And we will... there we go. Okay, so a couple of bolts here. Guys, this is how easy it is I said, hopefully this is all that it is, and then we'll just clean this thing up, throw it on the marketplace. Tomorrow's the last Friday of the month, so a lot of people getting paid, and looking for a riding mower. So if I could spend 20-30 minutes getting this one fixed, get it out there, that's one less I have in the yard, right? So let's see if that fixed anything or made it any better. It is going to take a second for it to pull fuel up. So I had a little bit left. Now that fuel pump is overwhelming it. That's what it is. Because it's doing the same thing. As soon as it picked up right there, it yeah, it's literally just overwhelming the carburetor. So that's unfortunate. I guess I'll order a fuel pump. Or I could possibly generate a pulse pump setup over here, which sometimes is a little bit more reliable anyways. You could tap a little hole in the dipstick there, and go that way. But yeah, that's exactly what's happening, is that fuel pump is overwhelming the carburetor. It's pumping way too much gas in there. I'm pretty sure, at least. It'd be crazy if I had two carbs that had the same issue. So, let me think on it. Like I said, probably fuel pump. Might rob one off of another machine I have here for the time being. See if I can fix it, get it out of here. Fuel pump wise, couple of 10s again. Take it off. Really easy to do. Like I said, I've got a couple here. I just don't like these that you like force everything down into. I just don't really like them. So I may find one, just rip one off that's got a good fuel pump on it. Got a couple of John Deeres out here in the back that I can put one in. We'll just put that up there for now. And this should slide off. This is honestly probably one of those instances where he just got tired of dealing with it and ended up saying, forget it. And you can see it's just pumping like crazy. So I'm going to find another fuel pump and see if that's going to fix us up. And I'll be right back. I'm going to show y'all a little bit of a difference. I found one on a Toro that I have, and I don't know if y'all can see this, but the arm on the aftermarket one is a little bit longer. I think you can see it right there. A little bit longer than the OEM one. And truthfully, that could make the difference here. So we're going to slap this one on. Forgot to change the camera angle, but I got the hoses on. Y'all saw that the one that was on it had a little bit longer arm, and guys, I think that may have made the difference. So we're going to put this fuel pump back in. Working fast makes you fumble sometimes. Alright, so I don't know if I've got high hopes or what, but that might have been the issue all along. So let's crank it. As long as this one pumps fuel, I don't know if it's good or not. Get it out here and see what it'll do. It's bright out here today. Makes my garage look like it's completely dark. And we're dry around the where I put the fuel line on, so it was the fuel pump. How about that? Pushing way too much fuel in there. I'm guessing that that lobe that the fuel pump rides on probably wasn't allowing the fuel pump to completely close and the check valve to come in, and so I guess it was just dumping gas like crazy up in there and causing that issue. I'm gonna grab some lunch. We're gonna clean this thing up. It does not appear like I need to do anything else aside from cleaning it up and giving it a service. So this thing is gonna look really good here in just a couple of minutes. Good cleaning. It's not perfect, but the deck ain't in great shape on it with the rust and stuff. So it's kind of like, to what degree do I clean it, you know? We may throw a little paint on there, we'll see. Went out there, started cutting for about 8 to 10 minutes, and it just shut off. Don't know why. It acted like it lost spark, but I have spark still on it. So I'm wondering if that plug is too fouled and it fouled itself out. So I'm gonna take and just change the plug out real quick here with one that I have. see if that fixes it, because it didn't. It just shut off, just like somebody flipped the switch on it, and not a fuel issue. So, and like I said, I just checked for sparks. So I'm hoping that it's just something as simple as this spark plug here, because I still see the fuel pumping. And this thing's been running too good to have an issue, so let's see. Yeah, that spark plug has seen better days, so we're going to throw this one in here. It could have quit in a worse spot, but let's see. The starter says this is a 2003 model year. So that would be, what, 21 years old now? Gotta get that piece off. So like I said, we've got spark. The only other thing I think of is that a little bit of water has gotten into the fuel. But I don't think that would be the case. Let's see. Well, after doing the spark plug, it did try to cut off on me once. Part of the issue, I think, is that it's not charging the battery, of course. So it's like couldn't be just that easy, right? So I've done a little bit of testing while it was running, and I'm getting 30 amps of AC current when I probe across these terminals. I'm getting about 13 volts when I probe it from here to the negative battery terminal. So I'm hoping that the regulator's bad. We're going to see if it is. I'm hoping that it is, because I don't want to have to pull another flywheel and glue flywheel magnets together. I've done enough of that already in the past couple months. So we're just going to take off. Oop, need to get something smaller. I just can't have this hung up in the shop too long, so I can get back to customer repairs. I've got a couple waiting on me. I just picked up a day or two ago, but I also have people that want riding mowers, so we're literally just going to take this off. I'm going to slap this one on just because this is easy. We're going to try it before I have to go through the whole process of pulling the flywheel, because I don't know when I'll get into doing that, since that's a little bit of it's not involved, but it takes a little bit of time to do. So let me snug this back up. I'm really hoping it's just a bad regulator. My head will say that it is, but my heart knows that it's probably not. So let's plug this back in. Alright, here we go. pulling flywheels on this one, guys. Man, thought it was going to be a quick fix. But it's not. So, we'll get all the engine cover and everything off. I don't know if I'll get around to it today. It's kind of foiled my plan. I was hoping to have this thing done today. Gotta let the engine cool off at the very least. Trying to see what time it is. Kind of like as soon as you get going on something, it ends up being the end of the day. So, but yeah, it's killing the battery. It's not charging the battery. So we have got to. It's probably got the old. I messed up the not messed up the flywheel, but the old flywheel magnet problem. So, and I bet the voltage is dipping right at that threshold to where it doesn't want to stay running too for that ignition coil. So while we're in there, we might swap out the ignition coil too. There's literally nothing else it could be, unless the fuel pump's overcoming the carb a couple of times. We got to do a little bit more to this than I thought. At least it is a little bit clean. We'll probably paint it all up and stuff and take a little bit more time. Excuse me, a little bit more time fixing it. Allergies are ramping up since I just finished cutting. So let me see what I want to do next. See if I want to get something else in here or do something else here today. All right, so again, we had to sort out a couple of small things on this, and I don't know if I fully got it sorted or if we're getting kind of close or what, but I think we got it. I did not have to go into the flywheel, thankfully. I think the voltage regulator ended up being the issue because we're charging, but we're not charging at the level that I want it to be charging. It is charging at about 12.7 volts, which is about where a diode setup usually would be, 12.7 to 12.8. That's enough. I'd like to see it a little bit more, but I think I'm actually out of voltage regulators because the other ones that I have are bad. I've tested them, and one of them was pulling 0 volts. The other one was pulling 8. Just to give you an underside look at the rust holes that were filled right there, and there's one on the other side too. Can't really see. I think it's a little bit smaller. But the blades are already sharp on this. The oil was recently changed in it, so that was good. We've got a few trailer pins and stuff in here that I can keep and use for my personal use. We've got the rust, and it's kind of like, do I repair or do I paint the tractor where it needs to be painted? Because, you've got this going on, or do we just send it like it is? I may just throw a little bit of green on this, a little bit of yellow in a couple of areas on the deck. I mean, I've got 2 people that are just waiting for mowers, so I'll see if they're interested in it. But the way this deck is, and the fact that I got it for free, probably just going to ask for $400. But man, the headlight lens cleaned up pretty good. We've still got a little bit of residue down here, but y'all remember how nasty this thing was. And that mildew residue is the hardest to get off. So, yeah. But I could tell that this machine was taken decent care of before it, was left out and a new machine got bought to replace it. Probably because if I were to guess, the fuel pump probably went out. He bought another fuel pump. That fuel pump didn't work, or that fuel pump was too big for this engine and was pumping way too much gas in there. And then, so it was overwhelming the carb, choked out the carb. He replaced the carb. It probably did the same thing. And, it's just kind of that cycle. And then you just go ahead and get something new. If I was in his shoes, I probably would have 2. But just because you don't know. And then I've still got the charging thing going on. And I want to see if I can show this to y'all. If I can get y'all close enough. Now the battery's from 2019, so I might replace it. It is holding a charge though, so hey, when you're selling a $400 mower, if it's got a good battery in it, it's got a good battery in it. Now, if this was like a $800,000 mower, I'd be putting a new battery in it, maybe even a $600 mower. But with the way that deck is, not good. So we've got 12.3 in the battery when I do that. Now when I crank it up here, jumps up to like 12.5, 12.6, but it never really gets any higher than that, which is kind of odd. I have other regulators here that I've tested that I know are bad. I'm pulling about 13 or so, or about 12.7 to 12.8 at the regulator, and then I lose about 1/10 of a volt between the regulator and the battery. So I may see if I have one more regulator to try, but it's enough to keep the battery. It's enough to keep the battery up and charged at an okay level. I'd ideally like to see it closer to 13, but we'll see. I'm going to reach out to a couple people that are looking for riders, because just to see if they're interested in it at this price point, and we'll just go from there, I suppose. If I don't do anything else, I'll go ahead and finish this video up. And I may see if I have another regulator here that is good, just to see if it charges a little bit more. But I think I'm done with this machine at this point. There's a little bit of water in the fuel as well. I think that was contributing to the issues that I was having when it came to somebody peeled out on the street there, but the issues that I was having when it came to it just suddenly shutting off. I just cut maybe a half hour with it, did not have any issues with it, so I think we're good there. Swapped out the regulator. I don't know if y'all can see it. But it's a solid 14 volts, so I just had a bunch of bad regulators. A bunch of bad ones, actually. That was kind of crazy. Literally just need to throw them all away at this point, because I realized I had all of them that were bad. This one's charging at 14 volts. Should restart a lot better now. That's awesome. Let me take pictures of this thing, see if I can get it sold. And that'd be a relatively quick turnaround for this. Today's Friday. I got it on Tuesday. Probably spent an afternoon's worth working on it, and then maybe an hour's worth of testing it out, just because it was of the issues that I was having with it previously. Alright, that is everything on this John Deere L110 that I got for free. I like these when they are just a bunch of minor things. When they're taken care of and not abused, which I know this was dirty when I got it, but hey, it was, you can tell it was taken care of pretty well for what it was. Again, I do want to thank Tom2RN. That's his YouTube handle. Does car repair work and stuff. I'll link his channel down below if you're interested. Subscribe. So thanks to them. We're going to make a little bit of money off of this. We've given this L110 new life. Again, had the wrong fuel pump in it, pumping way too much fuel into the carburetor, overwhelming the carburetor needle and seat, and causing the issues where it was flooding out after a few seconds of running. After we got that sorted, I was having an issue with it cutting off. Thought it was an ignition coil. I think I just had a little bit of water in the fuel because I drained the water, or drained the carburetor. Had a couple of little water specks in it, so had that, although the tank was empty when I got it, so I don't know if it was just a little residual in the bottom of the tank that it was sucking up. That seems to have fixed itself, which is good. It seems like it sucked all the water out. And again, the biggest thing on this is just the way that the deck is, where it started to rot out there in the front. That's why I haven't done a full-on cosmetic restoration of this thing with the paint, because that right there is going to be the crux and everything. It's going to be about the same price no matter what I do to it, because the way that the deck is on it. However, it cuts a great yard. I cut my yard with it. The thing cuts super. So somebody's going to have a nice cheap mower that they can use probably until the deck decides to finish rotting itself out. From what I guess, cosmetically, it actually turned out okay. All things considered. This system mower is about 21 years old, but those Kohler engines run so good. This one right here runs really good, and hopefully it'll be good for the next owner. This thing actually surprised me. I thought I was going to have to do a little bit more to it than I did, but I mean, basically off the trailer, putting a fuel pump in it, got it running and cutting just like it was. So all the tires have tubes in them. They're holding air. Didn't have to touch them. It was recently serviced, so I didn't even have to change the oil, sharpen the blades on it. This thing's ready to rock and roll. So thanks again for watching this video. Hopefully y'all found it interesting, and I'm doing a little bit of troubleshooting as to why it was running the way that it was, and then also the charging issue where I thought I had good voltage regulators hanging around, but I guess I didn't. So robbed one off of a parts tractor over here, and we got it going again as well, so that's really good. Thanks again for watching this repair video. We'll make a few $100s off of this. Like I said, with the way that the deck is, if I get $400 out of it, I think I'll be doing pretty good, considering I don't really have any money in it, except for going to get it while I was already out that way. So y'all take care. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.